Hey everybody, it's Bill from Matt-Trakker.com and welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. Now, if you follow this show, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out, helps me know that you're watching, helps me know that you want more, and I'll keep going. But if you watch this show, you know that sometimes I deviate away from the world of mask. And well, there's a lot of other things that I like out there. It's not just mask, believe it or not. I know it doesn't really help with what you see behind me, but if you notice my co-star today here, the Hall of Justice, you might have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. So Kenner, which will be a whole other episode on its own, produced a lot of really cool things. Not just mask, but what I consider to be one of the pinnacle toy lines of our generation, the Superpowers line. And it's based off of DC characters, which I love. And it was like, it was hard to describe back then what really drew you to it. But the fact of the matter is they had the mechanisms for the actions, they had the really cool artwork, and they had the power. Listen, they had the power of DC behind them. So they had Batman, Superman, Aquaman, you know, the list goes on, Wonder Woman, just to name a few. And they went to some more obscure characters too down the line. We'll get to that in a little bit. But before we dig a little bit further into this, let's take a look at a commercial that I was able to uncover. It's pretty unique.
Apocalypse, the new battleground for the Superpowers collection. Figures sold separately. Oh no, Darkseid with the upper hand. Wait, Superman with new recruits? Orion, Mr. Miracle, Samurai, Golden Pharaoh. Now ready, they go into battle. An ambush, terrible tier attacks. Orion turns ugly. Samurai turns the tables. Mr. Freeze stopping our hero's gold. Where's Superman? Right here. Who will win this fierce face-off? You decide.
Now, there's some websites out there that they have a lot of really good information, but they do need a little bit of updating. So maybe that'll happen someday. But what you have is something that you can kind of really just dig into, and there's probably a whole lot of really great stories behind it. I'm not going to dig that deep into it, and it's not because I don't know where to start. It's not for me to do. I just want to talk about the fact of how much I love them, talk about what I have, and just share something else with you. So I do have I guess you could call it complete loose figure set. My Riddler, which I'll show you in a second, and here's a screenshot of one. I don't have that one. It sells for a lot of money. And I got this one on eBay. It's a really good custom here. So, kind of see it here. I like if you were saying like, hey, look, this is not a custom, I would be kind of shocked. So it's really cool to have it in the set. I didn't pay that much money for it either on eBay. So if you're looking to complete your set but don't have hundreds of dollars or more to get the Riddler, there you go. So my collection, as I said, I don't have everything. Like, I don't have all the accessories and things of that nature. But what I do have is, well, some of the cooler ones, which if I have all of them, then some of them are going to be there. Now, there are some that are a little weird. They just saw in that commercial, like Samurai, which I have back there. Orion was a popular character for being Darkseid's son, well, his actual son that was raised by the New Gods. And Golden Pharaoh, nobody knew who they were. They're important to have and set, but that was one of the drawbacks, I think, of DC as well, is that their second tier or third tier characters were, well, not stellar. But let's go over here. So I want to show you my favorite one out of the line, which this is my original. That is my Batman. And the action still works. Got it on a little thing here, a little stand just to help him stand up. Action still kind of works. He can give you a fist bump. Though one arm doesn't work anymore. But yeah, the mechanisms, that was the draw was, they had the mechanism inside and they had a power action. So this is my original Batman. I do have Robin. Who's over there as well. And I do have the Batmobile here. Still dusty, but all the pieces are there. All the mechanisms still work. So I have that here. And of course, we have Superman, who is heavily used in the commercials, and well, he's a plot point that you can put in. Superman will just save the day, kind of like Spectrum. You just kind of write it in there, right? So I have Superman here. Pretty good shape too. Same thing with the cape. You got the Joker here. He comes with a mallet. I don't have it. Kind of see his action. So he has a swing there. You have Lex Luthor, his power armor. You have Aquaman here. So these are some of my favorite ones out of it. There's all of them really, but Aquaman, his action doesn't work anymore. But I believe it moved his arm up that holds the trident. You got the Green Arrow here. It's a shame that the Arrow series is ending. I didn't watch it for the last few years, but there's something about having the Green Arrow be a major focal point that is refreshing. And I was happy that he was part of this line. Sorry about Easton out there. And yeah, Clark Kent, if you needed a good power business meeting, this was their man. It was pretty cool to see that they put plain clothes Clark Kent in there. And it was a mail away, kind of similar to the Collector. There's the little thing here. You kind of see how he got it. And then you had Darkseid, who came in later. That he became a pretty big villain. After the New Gods were released, it gave something that Superman could actually fight against. That made sense instead of him fighting the Penguin or the Joker, except if you watch the Injustice stuff. But back then they were kind of looking for anything, I think, to kind of make that happen. One second, let me take a sip of my Superman coffee here. What makes it Superman coffee? The mug. Come on. And then what I want to talk about here real quick too is, well, I don't know if I want to open the Hall of Justice up because there's a lot going on in there, but it is complete, and it's a big piece to kind of have to display. So pretty much it only fits on top of, the shelves here, along with Boulder Hill, Ghostbusters headquarters, and Castle Grayskull, kind of where that has to sit. So it was kind of a essential piece to your collection if you were collecting it. I got that later, and there were a lot of other stuff too. There were a lot of vehicles. I showed you the Batmobile. Superman had some questionable things. Well, here's the Justice Jogger. For when Superman's just feeling incredibly lazy, maybe after eating a big meal, you got this power walker. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and it makes sense if it was for somebody else. The mechanism works great on it. I don't have it, but I remember it fondly, and I just remember how dumb it was then. Why does Superman need this? So think of that. Remember, not everything's perfect. Billboard Blast. Yeah. So let's get into these couple ones here. So I have, so these are out of my entire collection. These are some of the rare pieces that I have. I have a complete Shazam here, original cape, really good paint. I'll take it out of here so we can see it a little better through the tube here. If I remember which way to take it off, it's the top here. There. And the reason why I have them in here is I didn't want them to be kind of like, sometimes things fall in the cases there, and I didn't want that to happen. So I can't open this up, so you're going to look at them this way. There you go. So the original cape, really hard to find the cape itself. You might pay $100 alone just for the cape if you're looking. And then I have a Cyborg here. I don't have the parts for him, but having one is pretty damn cool. I remember how I got this one. I was kind of following an eBay auction, and it just kind of like, it didn't have any traction. So I decided to try it, and I won. I'm pretty happy about that. It did come from Argentina. I don't remember if this is one of the ones that are from. So Playful did some of these too. They had their own kind of release of them. I don't remember exactly what they released, but there are some out there. But I know that I do have a Cyborg, and I know what it's worth. I'm pretty damn happy to have them. So like these two here are like two of the pinnacles of my collection outside of Mask. So if you collect any of these, let me know what you got in your collection. Let me know if there was one that you were fond of the most. I guess mine would have been it would have been Batman. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are fond of Superman and so on. So Batman versus Superman, I guess. Pick which one you want to go with. And also, too, there are a lot of cool customs out there, not just the Riddler, but some people do make characters that weren't released, like the Blue Beetles out there. So keep an eye out if you collect them and see if you can add them to your collection. Until next time, this is Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and I'll talk to you later. Spectrum's got such